everybody. This is Dr. Flight. This is just a real quick uh, little video on some elements of marketing strategy. So, strategy is a big space because it involves being able to chart a direction or a course for an organization, um, but it has to include like strengths and resources that your company has paired with opportunities that are in the marketplace or among your competitive environment. So think about like when an opportunity presents itself, if a company is able to take advantage of it, they're prepared, they have a strategy to do so. Or think also if a company has some skills and resources, maybe they have technology that they've developed and they want to create an opportunity based on that technology. That's certainly something that is very strategic and takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of thought in advance in terms of, how to implement that technology or how to put it into play so that the market will receive it, and you'll also gain a competitive advantage. So traditionally there are three, and this is oftentimes drawn from a management sort of perspective, but there's three kind of primary competitive strategies that you can talk about, and again from a management perspective, and we can nuance from a marketing perspective. But one of which, in terms of a way to compete and a competitive strategy to hold, would be low cost strategy, meaning that your costs to operate are low. This doesn't mean your prices are low. This doesn't mean you offer low priced products. This means that that your products are produced in a low cost way. So this is, again, it's a way to think strategically. This is also one when we think about low cost strategies as one you use to compare yourself to your competitors. So in other words, if I'm creating a product and my costs are at a certain level, my competitors are creating a similar product, so we're fighting over the same market space, but their costs to produce are higher, then I'm more efficient in what I do. If that makes sense. It's an operational efficiency type of a thing. I'm from an operations standpoint running leaner or with less cost than my competitors. Therefore, if our prices are similar in the marketplace, if we're charging the same amount but my costs are lower, then naturally my profit margins are higher. I'm more profitable than the competitors. So think of low cost as a competitive strategy kind of from that perspective. Another perspective or another strategy is one we use a lot in marketing, is one called differentiation, where what we do is we build our business focused on the uniqueness of qualities we have and the distinction that those qualities are from our competitors. So we want to point out qualities that are positive that we do, like things we do well and such, that our competitors cannot match. And on those points of differentiation, that's where we'll build our messaging to our customers. That's how we'll build our brand. We'll probably focus our name around that. And all the different elements that we do in promoting the product, building awareness, creating motivation for consumers to buy the product will be based on these points of difference in the things that we do well. So again, this is a very, very marketing kind of type of thing that we do. The last organizational strategy that might be a competitive strategy would be one where we remain very, very narrowly focused, and we try to create what we might call a niche or a focused kind of marketplace product and such. So in this case, we're going to do really one thing really, really well, and we're going to focus all of our energy into that one activity. Now, it may mean that that activity only draws a small group of consumers, but we want to draw all the consumers who are interested in that one focal product. So think about like a very, very targeted group of consumers who have a unique need, and you have the unique ability to satisfy their need. Boom. That's the focus that you're going to think of. Okay, so this is kind of, again, an overview of some strategy ideas you might think about, you might incorporate in some of your cases and some of the things that you're doing, some of your applications. There are other strategies or ways to conceptualize strategy anyways that we use in marketing specifically. One is the ANSOF growth strategy. So there's product market strategies for growth. So it's ANSOF, ANSOFF, created this thing. You've seen this before where we develop new products or we develop new markets, or we do both. So this should be a review. This should be material you already know about market penetration, where we're building sales. We're trying to generate additional sales within customers and markets and products we already offer. We could create new products to, give people more reasons to buy from us. We could also find new people to buy our products, right, in a market development strategy, or we could do what's called diversification, where we take our concepts, put them in a whole new product in a new market. Again, I'm not going to go into these in too much depth because these should be things that are pretty familiar to you. But again, these are ways to think about your strategic development, kind of where you're going to go from a growth perspective. You should definitely build your strategy around some of these concepts, like in writing in advance. Think about, how you're going to grow, and how, that's whether it's going to come from new products or new customers, basically. So and again, very marketing focused approach. Okay, two last things we're going to look at, which is two different models, but the last concept is called portfolio analysis. So in strategy here, we've got some organizational strategy things. We've got some market-related strategy things with the product market mix there. Finally, we've got a portfolio analysis. Now, when we talk about portfolio analysis in marketing, we're looking at collections of cash flows. So take all your products. Each product is a cash flow. Each product produces income. And so you manage all of your cash flow producing products together as a group, and that would be a portfolio. So when we do like strategic planning, a lot of times we think of our revenue model and kind of like, where's our money coming from? Where's our cash streams, and how are those like related to each other? And product A, product B, kind of they relate to each other. Let's talk about that a little bit. The other thing we do is we manage products too. So we've got a multi-dimensional thing. Not only are the products affecting each other, but they're also they have their own life cycle over a period of time. So two popular ways to kind of start to think about portfolio analysis with our cash streams include one, the BCG growth share matrix, which again, this is something you've probably seen before. This is one where we have two axes, and depending on like where the products lie, whether it's in a high growth like market growth space or a high market share space, we'll have different types of products. So again, if you remember this, you'll remember the stars and cash cows and dogs and problem children. What I recommend is you just pause here, take a look at this, study this, make sure you understand this, and then reaffirm all of this with your textbook, because it'll kind of describe each one of these spaces. You need to know these. You need to know what these all are. In addition to the BCG, Boston Consulting Group Growth Share Matrix, in addition to this, there's something called the GE Strategic Planning Matrix or Grid as well. So the GE Business Screen, GE Strategic Planning Model, It essentially does the same thing, only it doesn't give us individual names for products like stars and dogs and things like that. But what it does is, again, it has two dimensions. One is market attractiveness, which in the BCG, it's the growth of the market. So, but this is more broadly defined as a market attractive. How attractive is the market? Um, and growth rate, of course, is one thing, but there are other elements that are attractive to a market too. The other dimension here is, again, our firm's position in the market. Um, so again, BCG, we use market share. This could, though, be defined more broadly as business position. How strong is your position in the market? That would be the question, right? So so again, we're looking at kind of two dimensions. This is again called G. It's from General Electric. It's a business model, planning model that's been used for many, many years, and it's well worth developing. Clearly, if you have a very attractive market and you have a strong position in the market, then that's a type of product you want to grow and invest in. It's a development. It has a lot of opportunity that you can seize, right? At the other end of the spectrum, if you don't have a very strong position in the marketplace or among competitors, and it's in a low growth market or product category, then you want to sort of divest or you want to stay away from it, right? That'd be the red area in this chart. Okay, so these are tools, right? These are really good strategic tools for understanding where you are today with your products. Like, how many products do you have in each of these 9 cells? That's a great question to ask. If you were to evaluate your product portfolio and you're going to put them in this chart of 9 cells, where do they fall, right? Then, second, where do you want to be in the future strategically? Like, where do you want to be? Are you going to cycle through? Are some of the ones that are in the yellow or the red, are they going to start to move over into the red area? We're going to diversify or divest from them, excuse me. That would be something like a dog, right, in the BCG growth share matrix. So use similar terms, but just remember there are a couple different ways to visualize this. Okay, so this video isn't super long. You should read the text and kind of support this. If some of these things aren't familiar to you, make sure you're getting that information where it is. But we definitely want to think about the organizational strategies. We had the low-cost strategy, differentiation strategy, and a focus strategy. We also talked about, from a marketing's perspective, a stronger marketing area anyways, the Ansoff model, where we look at our ways we can grow using new products or new markets or both. Second, and then finally, last thing we kind of touched on here was something called portfolios. And this is where we want to look and organize all of our cash streams in an organized way. And we want to strategically plan for how they work together with each other, but then also their own path, their own life cycles. Okay, so just a quick little video on some strategy ideas that we deal with in marketing. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.